They'll look to throw on.
Two extra defensive backs on the field.
Second and 10. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. Drafted a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You don't quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. The incomplete pass here now is second and 10. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. A shotgun snap for gone. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They go play action. It's Rosen. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
The L.A. Rams in the midst of their open week right now, coming off one of the most exhilarating football games in the NFL we've seen in a while. That 54-51 victory over Kansas City.
And think about everything that went into that victory, because it was a game that the whole league and anyone who likes football couldn't wait to see. It was supposed to be in Mexico City, which would have been played at altitude. So the Rams got out of L.A. and went to Colorado Springs to train the week before the game. Turned out the game got moved back to the Coliseum. And in the NFL, if you move a game away from your home base and you're going to play in London or Mexico City, if you're the designated home team, you have to hold your stadium for just in case. And that kicked in, and then we had a game for the ages with Kansas City. That was a blast.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Goff now to throw. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. He was looking for Todd Gurley. 3rd down here.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
To the air again. Goff. The shuffle pass, and it's complete. And he'll go down at the 28. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here we go on 4th. Gone. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the 1st. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
12 yards there as they move the chains. This will be the first red zone opportunity now for the Rams. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. They'll run it now out of the gun there, and now 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
Now Goff. This will be caught at about the 6. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now Goff. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Robert Woods, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Zuerlein out now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever's...
And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off near the 29. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Dayon Buchanan not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Goff. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now Rosen to throw on second down. And they will take over. Picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Goff will lead the Rams up here, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past, the biggest teaching point. Get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. The tackle made there by Dayon Buchanan.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. And that's twice now already in this first quarter that he's been able to knock a ball away.
They're going to need that from him and plenty more if they want to slow down this passing game. Thus far, though, he's been a ball magnet.
Throwing on third. Goff. And a loose football. And this is recovered by the Cardinals.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Following a fumble recovery, it's Rosen. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one, much more like lead.
And the Rams got him. They bring him down. And Ndamukong Suh breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at about the 32. Goff. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Looking for Woods that time, and that'll bring up second down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Here's Gurley. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Out of the gun, Goff, airing it out deep for Wood. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the veteran Antoine Bethea. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And now he'll tuck it and run. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down. Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Now it's Rosen, and that is incomplete. His first half struggles continue. He has yet to complete a pass. Hard to believe.
It is, because I don't see anything wrong with him physically. Maybe he's a little amped up to begin with. Would have thought he would have settled down by now. I think someone's got to get in his ear, got to be a psychologist a little bit, and get him back on track.
On 3rd down, Rosen. And he's got Gresham. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
Hurry up, here we go.
To throw is Rosen. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
Gone!
Now a handoff, Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a 1st down with his very next run.
On 2nd down, Johnson. A tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. That 2nd down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now. They'll run it with Johnson. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. The gain of 5 that time gives them the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And they'll throw it with Rosen. And it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. Well, CD, looking back to Thanksgiving, we have the typical triple header. Did you enjoy while digesting the turkey and pie?
I certainly did, and I think I'm still digesting the turkey and pie. But, you know, you have the traditional ones. You have the Lions who host and the Cowboys who host, and the Lions hosted the Bears this year. And despite the fact the Bears didn't have their starting quarterback, Mitchell Trubisky, how about what Chase Daniel did? They went in there and took the measure of the Lions for this.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dayon Buchanan in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And his throw is going to be incomplete. The veteran safety Antoine Bethea there on the defensive coverage. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Dumps it off to Gurley. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. Switching gears for a second to look at the NFL slate. You know, the bye weeks are now over, Charles. And if you had to pinpoint a couple of teams that are surprising you right now with where they're at, who would that be?
Well, I didn't think Washington would be in first place this late in the year, and they're still hanging in there. But 2 teams that really jump out at me. How about the run the Indianapolis culture on right now? And how well Andrew Luck is playing the quarterback position. We don't talk about that enough. They could very well win the AFC South with the play they're playing right now. And how about the Denver Broncos? That was a gutsy win at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are still hanging in there, still hopeful for a wild card spot.
Here's Rosen to throw. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. Here we go with Johnson. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They stay on the ground on 1st with Johnson. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield.
Oh, there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Here's Johnson. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. The tackle there by LaMarcus Joyner.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Rosen will throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here's Andy Lee now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense.
And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Hassan Reddick in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. Making the tackle, Gerald Hodges.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Here's Goff. And this is going to be incomplete. Oh, Patrick Peterson, the shutdown corner, was there on the coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. The busy night continues for Johnson. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Now Rosen looking to throw. And that is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From his goal line here, Goff. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Goff. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
And he's going to take this down to about the 17. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Now Johnson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Not time enough for a play and then a timeout, you wouldn't think. So with 4 seconds left, they're going for it.
Now let's go!
Final play of the half here, it's Rosen. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
25 yards, the pickup there, and also a first down. From the 50, it's gone. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
On 2nd and 10, Goff looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee, and it's third down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. Here's Johnny Hacker now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter three.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back to the offense, and let's go downfield and score. It seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up a third down.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Johnson. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Let's go!
They run. It's Johnson going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Rams get the football in outstanding field position. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st down, gone. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Gurley. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Goff on 3rd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the... Goff now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Goff. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. With that incompletion, let's look forward to the rest of the NFL season. You know, a lot of people say the season doesn't really get exciting till after Thanksgiving. Well, what are you looking forward to in the month of December?
I do like that expression because each sport has its own, doesn't it? Teams that are in first place July 4th in baseball, that's who's going to win the division, right? That's one of the old adages. We go on and on, but for me, this is what I'm going to look forward to. The NFC East could be a 3-team race. How about the revival of the Chicago Bears? And last but not least, the AFC West is controlled by Kansas City, but the sleeper team, the Los Angeles Chargers. Keep an eye on them.
Yeah, they're knocking on the door with just 3 losses. KC with 2.
Green 39! Green 39!
Now Rosen on first down. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
The Cardinals on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is third down and 12. Here's Rosen. And he's got Fitzgerald. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Throwing now, Rosen on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Michael Brockers in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
It has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And the Rams now coming out on the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Give the tackle there to Gerald Hodges. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On second down, here's Goff. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it. It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Goff now to throw. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards on the play.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Goff in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Goff. And his throw here's incomplete. Robert Woods, the intended receiver that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Back to the air. Goff on 2nd down. His throw incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Goff. And that will be incomplete as well. Oh, Patrick Peterson, the shutdown corner, was there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Zerline's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So he missed his first couple hits there and puts his team up by more.
And while it wasn't absolutely crucial at that point, how great is that for his confidence to finally put one through the posts?
Williams to return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion. Kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Caught on the left side, Fitzgerald. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Rosen. And this one is incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target. And it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. 2nd and 10. It's Rosen again. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he's got Gresham. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. Rosen to throw again. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Fitzgerald. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very down.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now Rosen. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Michael Brockers in there to drop it for his second sack now here tonight. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at the 40. On the handoff, it's Gurley. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Throwing on third, Goff. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On first down, it's Gurley. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful.
David Johnson on his way. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, 67 yards. And the Cardinals are just an extra point away from tying this game. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. On the return, it's Pharaoh Cooper. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah. Will they make up for it? A good pickup there, a 22.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now gone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them. But that certainly felt like an example of the defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game, they want to keep it going.
Again, it's Johnson. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. The tackle there by John Johnson.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now Rosen looking to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Now a play fake here on first down. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Robert Kimdichie coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. They go with a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Goff now to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the veteran Antoine Bethea. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. You don't want it.
They go to Johnson again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Throwing now is Rosen. And Gresham's got it over the middle. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pick up there of 20 yards. From their own 40 to the other 40. The gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10. Here's Rosen. And incomplete on the deep ball. The tight end, Jermaine Gresham, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. On the ground, this is Johnson. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
On 3rd down, Johnson fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Fire deep. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Yet another carry here tonight for Gurley. Room to run inside the 40. That burst good for 20 and a first down. They go with the ground game, pick up the first, now in plus territory.
And that changes the whole mentality of a play caller, doesn't it? Once they cross the 50, they feel like they're in the strike zone, all right? You don't have to be in the red zone to take those big shots downfield or go after the end zone. Right now, that might be available to him.
And now this first drive in OT continues. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Goff hitting Woods for a Rams first. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Woods. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. A lot of efficiency here on this drive. Heck, this may be their best drive of the game.
Yeah, if they'd moved it like this throughout the entire game, we probably wouldn't be here in overtime. But right now, what you just said was the key word.
Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And the return won't go anywhere. They'll be back deep in their own territory at the 2-yard line. A costly mistake here in OT.
A second one. I mean, I'm not sure the analytics on it. Let's ask Marvin, our statistician, to ring that down for us. That's typically how coaches and teams feel about it. You throw one, you likely cost yourself the game.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Way back here, deep in their own territory, they're well aware when they throw the ball, they've got to be careful.
Let's face it, every psychologist in the world will tell you, be positive with your team right here. Tell them they're going to make big plays. I know every coach we've ever met has told his offensive team, don't hold here, right? Don't get a penalty here, because anything like that in the end zone can end the game and lose it for us, especially if they want to keep throwing it.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Rosen. And he's got Fitzgerald. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a first down. Larry Fitzgerald, no stranger to making big plays in overtime. I know you remember, Charles, divisional round 2015. Fitzgerald took a 75-yard pass to the 5 and then scored on a shovel pass to beat Green Bay.
That was something, wasn't it? And when it comes to Larry Fitzgerald, when I think of overtime, I always think big moments. This is a bigger stage, and it never bothers Larry Fitzgerald. In fact, he rises to it.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Keeping the aggression going on defense in overtime here, a first down blitz.
You know you can get burned on it big time if they pick it up, but in this situation, they brought the blitz, put some pressure on the QB, and he wasn't able to complete a pass downfield.
And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face. Good.
Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll make it a second down. Back to throw. Gone. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. We were just was treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about, a long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin.